Mexicans here tonight. We got a lot of talkers. You would think these are the comedians over here. What's going on over here in the audience? We're trying to do a show. It's very skewed this way, but that's okay. That's all right. The rest of the audience will be coming in right now, and that's fine. Thank you for joining us here at this showcase. It's really cool. I want to introduce a couple of people that are important. I think everybody's important, but I do want to say my mother's here. Come on, everybody. And my mother's cousins are here, or as I like to think of them, as Margaret and Carlos, and that's always cool. And Becky is here. She's kind of my aunt. My brother's here and his wife, and all is forgiven for all the pain you've given me, family. Okay, I'm gonna just. I do want to say tonight's a different kind of night. Well, I noticed that Leslie Hiatt is here, everybody. There's Leslie Hiatt, and Leslie Hiatt. He'll be performing and hosting a little bit later on this evening, a little thing that we're doing differently. And we have a lot of good comedians tonight, everybody. And we also have Leslie Hiatt. Leslie, is it true that you are a teacher, in fact?
Professor, yes.
You're a professor? Wow. I guess the state of California hasn't updated those Megan's Law files. Guess we need to work on that. We're just going to roll right into it, everybody. We're going to start with our first comedian. This guy is like a comic after my own heart. He's constantly writing, constantly updating his jokes. He's there's the writing machine right here, Sam Cooper. But another writing machine, here he is, everybody, Nathan Newman.
It's the first time I've heard that before. Comic after Ruben's own heart. My God, that is tall order to fill. It's June 5th, in case anybody didn't know that. It is already June. I'm going to start writing my Christmas list tonight. This is ridiculous. I had a big day today. I actually had a graduation. Yeah. Thank you. 8th grade was a tough one. Looking forward to high school, see how it goes in the fall. Might even go out for the wrestling team. I made a big decision today. I am no longer taking personal responsibility for my actions. No one does, and nobody cares. If I don't do well tonight, I'm going to blame Sam. Either Sam or President Joe Biden. One or the other. Hashtag thanks, Joe. Another thing, anyways, my girlfriend and I recently broke up. No, it's okay. It's all right. It was coming down the pipeline. 8 years together. Yeah, 8 years I tortured her. It was reciprocated. We were in love. She used to call me gay, which is pretty crazy because we did not go to the same junior high. No, she used to call me gay because I'm cleaner than she is. Yeah, OCD makes you gay, apparently. Obsessive compulsive dick sucking. At the New Year, her big New Year's resolutions was to be celibate. She vowed celibacy. But she was also unemployed, so I had the worst roommate ever. She actually was Mexican. She probably still is, but we don't really talk anymore. But which was a real shame because I've always been great with dads. She would have introduced me to the guy. They never met apparently. I never believed her. Anyways, if you loved something, set it free. And if it never comes back to you, it's never meant to be. What a load of horse shit, am I right? I say, when you break up, keep living together for 3 months. And if you survive, it builds character. Fellas, anybody else here ever stalk a girl's Instagram so much she goes private? She doesn't block you, she changes her privacy settings. Am I the only romantic in the room? I thought Giselle and I had a chance. I guess not. Everyone, all the ladies here try to stay calm. I drive for Lyft. I'm not a Lyft driver because then they've won completely. Other night I said that and everybody just ripped their clothes off, turned into a full orgy. People are so paranoid these days. It's not enough that they know my name, they see my picture, I know their name, where they're going. They always check my license plate for authenticity, which is really interfering with my kidnappings. I'm like, what's a guy got to do to kidnap some Lyft riders around here? Saturday night, I picked up a couple in downtown LA, 5:15. As soon as they got in, they said, the bride is walking down the aisle at 5:30. So if you know any shortcuts, by all means. As soon as they said this, a city bus moved out of my way. I floored it down Spring Street. And they went, whoa, we don't want to throw up on our dress. Which one is it? Do you want to get there on time or do you want to be there clean? People do not respect Lyft drivers. They ask me the most ridiculous questions. They'll say, can you pay your rent doing this? How much money do you even make? Are you in school? And that's when I tell them I'm a comedian. And then it's pure silence the rest of the ride. So that's what I get out of that one. Deal with backseat drivers a lot, which comes with the territory. I did have a backseat driver that was dyslexic. He told me, I didn't just, give him a test. So the way he would give me directions, he didn't know his left from his right. So he said, coming up on this stop sign, turn driver's side. That was his version of left. And then the next turn, he's like, okay, now turn. And he's so drunk he can't even remember the directions. He's like, okay, now turn passenger side. And I'm like, I can follow a map. Because I don't have dyslexia. You just leave it up to me in Waze. I'll get you home safe. People, a lot of times, they'll ask me if I get benefits. It's like, do you work for Blue Shield? Like, why are you so obsessed with my benefits? After years of Lyft driving, I have the benefit of knowing all the best and worst places to pee in all of Los Angeles. The other night, I was at USC, Lyft driving, not seducing sorority girls. Just want to make that distinction. And had to pee, and I was like, oh, where should I go? So I pull into the Ralph's at Vermont and Adams at USC, scurry to the bathroom, punch in the code, $2.94 pound. Side note, has not changed in 8 years. 8 years I've Lyft driven, never once have they changed this code. It is written in Sharpie on the door. Do we really need a code at this point? So I go in, go to the bathroom, try to lock it. Lock is broken. So I'm like, oh shoot, how do I alert people that someone's in here? I know, I'll open TikTok. I was already gonna do that anyways. So I open TikTok, I'm scrolling TikTok, getting all kinds of Blue Chew ads, super self-conscious about my algorithm. So 30 seconds later, a kid walks in, plan fails immediately, tries to go in. I said, hey man, somebody's in here. After a brief minute, he says, hey man, are you taking a shit? You caught me. He says, because it just sounds like you're scrolling on TikTok. I said, no man, I'm trying to explain, no, I'm just trying to alert you that I was in here. While this is happening, I'm realizing I'm excreting waste. I'm like, you know what? I'll be out in a minute. He's like, all right, because we got a line out here. I'm like, a line outside of the bathroom at the Ralph's at Vermont and Adams at USC? This has never happened in the history of Ralph's or USC. What are you gonna do? So I finish my business. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna flush. These people are gonna face the mess that I've created to know that I do not scroll TikTok mindlessly in the bathroom at Vermont and Adams Ralph's. Anyways, my name is Nathan Newman. Thank you very much.
Wow, Nathan. Didn't know we were going to end on a bodily secretion closer. I really like your set, Nathan, and I always like your sets, and I always feel better about my life. So I appreciate it. Okay, we're ready for the next comic. You ready for the next comic, everybody? Well, Well, the next comic's me, so nothing really changed. Who said wah, wah, wah? You are hereby banned from the Barkley. You know what? Because the theme is school is out, right? By the way, thank you, Peter Dwight. Good, where is he? Good flyer, sir. Good job. I thought I would do all my school teacher material, okay? And yeah, thank you, but this might go well, or this might be the biggest mistake of my life. Let's see how it goes. I feel like with me, you know, my personality, I feel like I come off to people as if I could go either way, you know? I could be Latino. I could be Armenian. I could go either way. I could be straight, or I could be gay. I could go either way. I could be, say, a pediatrician or a pedophile. I could go either way. Relax. In fact, I'm Latino, I'm heterosexual, and I'm a school teacher. Thank you. But it doesn't matter when I say that. People still look at me and think, oh, I wouldn't trust my children around that guy. That's not going to happen. All right, we have our comment. Look at who is it. Hi, Anna. Hannah's back. How you doing, Anna? Anna will be here in a few minutes. How you doing? I see you over there. Hi, how's it going? I see Nathan was talking loudly. Yes, very good. Screwing me up on stage. You know what? It's good to see my family here. And when I think of my family, you know, I reflect and I think about my late father. You know, yeah. And even when he was alive, I called him my late father. He wasn't very punctual, folks. There's a reason why my family's laughing. Yeah, man, my father, he was old school. My father was so old school, he never told me I love you. Actually, I take that back. He never told me I love you until the day of a mass school shooting. Wow. And I'm a school teacher. I think he was getting worried for me. I think he thought I was next. And he called me up that day and he was shook. And he said a few things, and at the end of the conversation, he said, Ruben, I love you. And I said, Dad, I love you too. And when I hung up the phone, I found myself hoping to hear those words, I love you, more often. And so I secretly wished for more school shootings. Is that a bit much? I like teaching, man. I like Shakespeare. Anybody like Shakespeare in here? Yeah. I got a couple. No? Really? Somebody had to say it. That doesn't make you look smart. I'll let you go because you're part of the family. But some people think that today's poets, modern poets and songwriters are just as talented as Shakespeare. Just as talented as Shakespeare. No, they're not. No, they're not. Oh no, we got a second comic over here. We're in trouble. Because it took one Shakespeare to write Macbeth and the lines, fears and scruples shake us. But in the great hand of God I stand, and I fight treasonous malice. In our modern day of songwriting, it took 3 people to write the following lyrics. Lick it now, lick it good. Lick this like you should. My neck, my back. Lick my pussy. And my crack. 3 writers to write that, Leslie. But that's the same as Shakespeare. I like teaching, man. But you know, as a teacher, and Leslie, you might relate to this, you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times and who's watching you, you know? I was walking out of Rudy's on Pomona Boulevard in East LA. Anybody ever go to Rudy's? You look like a guy who's been to Rudy's a few times. Stumbled out of there. I think I saw you. And as I was walking out, a beautiful woman was walking, a young woman was walking in, and I go, hey, young lady, how about we have a couple of drinks in there? And she said, Mr. Aguilar? Do I know you? I said, but I knew it was a former student because nobody calls me Mr. Aguilar. And she said, yes, I'm Alejandra Vasquez. I was your student. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't remember. And she said, oh, you were my favorite teacher. I said, oh, wow. Well, since I don't remember, how about we go ahead and have this drink? Good, man. You know, we English teachers, we're cool, but we're too passionate about our subject, man. It's not normal. We're even passionate about grammar. Everybody knows that adjectives are descriptive words. But did you know that n, and the are also adjectives? Interesting, huh? So here I go again. Too passionate. Too passionate, man. Where are my preposition peeps at, yo? No? Nobody? Never mind. Prepositions are words that show position and power. Words like on, of, above, for, against, to, with, within, without. Example sentence. I was engaged to be married to her, but she left me for her. Because I still live with my mother. Grammar's important. You know, I'm going to read you the... Oh, shoot, I don't have it. I don't have my joke. I'm just going to go by memory. Hey, I'm a professional. I'm a professional, everybody. I'm going to read you the Pledge of Allegiance and just alter the adjectives and prepositions just to see how much it changes the pledge. You ready? I pledge allegiance to a flag of a few states within America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, against God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for some. We're living in an existential situation in this country, everybody. And that existential situation and crisis is a vocabulary crisis because I don't know what existential means. I keep hearing it and I don't get it. I then go on dictionary.com and I type in the word existential and I see existential of or related to existentialism. Oh. I think I get it now. I think the problem is we don't have enough qualified English teachers in this country. If we hired more qualified English teachers, we'd all be doing much gooder. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm Ruben Aguilar. This next comic, I actually have a lot in common with her. We both went to Glendora High School.
Okay.
Yeah. We both love the Lord.
Yay.
And we're both hot blondes. I don't know. I couldn't think of a third thing. What do you want me to do? Ladies and gentlemen, She has a very cool style, very cool comedic style. Give it up for Colleen Johnston.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that I like how nowadays you see different shapes of women on TV, on magazine covers, different shapes, like not just skinny. And I like that. I want to keep that going because when I was a kid growing up in the 80s, the epitome of beauty was the lady on the cherry pie music video, Bobby Brown. She's my cherry pie. She was the epitome of beauty, and she was methamphetamine skinny. And they say marijuana was a gateway drug. But for me, marijuana was just a gateway to laughing stupid and eating nachos. Yeah. I was not methamphetamine skinny. I did not look like the cherry pie girl, but I did look like I ate the cherry pie. Keep it round, keep it curvy. I'm now going through perimenopause, so I have a beer belly without any beer. It's pretty weird. Perimenopausal hormones is giving me a beer belly and chin whiskers. Yeah. And the chin whiskers are coming out other places now. And I'm kind of sweaty. You know where that is? We'll keep it a secret, I guess. But yeah, I'm just kind of sweaty and hairy. And so I didn't know the change of life was going to make me part werewolf too. It's either the whiskers or the fact that I got pissed drunk from camping. I don't know. Run around naked in the moonlight. It just seemed like fun. Seemed like fun. Until the Cub Scout troop complained. So I had to stop chasing the little chubby one. But he had Cheetos in his pocket. And I am a sucker for Cheetos. And a chubby Boy Scout. But anyway, I get called ma'am now. And I guess that's good manners. I drive a minivan and all that stuff. But I shop at Stater Brothers, and this kid I'm buying vodka and lighter fluid, and I'm the man.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm dangerous. I'm buying vodka and lighter fluid, but it's ma'am all day. And I do have a tramp stamp. I guess I could show it to him. Maybe I'd get a have a nice day, you dirty little slut. But I don't think so. I think the ship has sailed. In the 80s, as a kid, we're like, nobody had autism in the 80s. Why is everyone autistic now? We didn't have that in the 80s. I think we had autism in the 80s. I think we did. I think we were too preoccupied with ourselves and just being a dick. Like we didn't care. I had a preemie Cabbage Patch doll. Preemie stands for premature. I had a underdeveloped doll with a bald head and a hospital gown. Because the NICU babies are cuter. Preemie. That's the 80s. Those were for sale. That was a thing. And then I remember being a kid watching TV, and they shoved a teacher into outer space, the space shuttle, and we were watching it in school, and we saw her explode, and went back to taking a spelling test. No counseling, no nothing, just take your test. So yeah, we were dicks for a reason. Like it was just a very insensitive era. So my cousin, I think, was autistic. She got really, her sensory system would get overwhelmed, so that she would just talk about sharks a lot. She didn't have a weighted blanket, but she had Shark Week, so we were scrappy, we were feral. We had no technology or parents. We were feral, including the autistic ones. If you tried to bully her, my cousin Nancy, if you tried to bully her when she was doing a Rain Man rant about sharks, she'd kick you in the face. She was tough. So I have 4 kids. I have 4. I have 1 girl and then just a flurry of wiener after that. Flurry of wiener came after that. I think it was a little bit easier with my daughter because I'm getting, maybe we should close the door. I'm getting too distracted. I did go to the Zach Bryan concert last night, so I'm barely hanging on. Just had hair of the dog. Do you guys know what hair of the dog is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, these idiots didn't. I'm like having to explain to them what hair of the dog is. All right, so we'll start that one over. I have 4 kids. I have 1 girl, and then just a flurry of wiener came after that. All over the place. It was a little harder with my daughter because of the mean girl stuff. I remember junior high, someone was like, well, I think Harry Potter's for babies. And my daughter was like literally wearing her like Slytherin sweatshirt or something. But that's just how, it's just me, you know, it's like psychological warfare. And my son didn't have to worry about that. I don't think he worried about much because he literally walked in and said, how long does the toaster need to warm up for before it toast? So I really do envy a world where you're like, you're not having to worry about the mean girls. You're just like, toast? That sounds like a good time. I do have one of my sons. He is diagnosed with autism, and he's also gorgeous. I'm not even kidding. He looks. But look at these cheekbones. He is gorgeous. He's very handsome. Now that gets interesting on Halloween, okay? Because he's 6 foot tall. He's 18. He's 6 feet tall. And do you know what a Spider-Man costume looks like on a full-grown man? It is not the cute little toddler outfit, okay? It is spandex. It is spandex from neck to foot. And so I'm dragging around this gorgeous 6 foot spandex-clad Spider-Man to trick or treat. And some MILF answers the door and it's like, whew, I'm like shaking dollar bills in front of his face. I'm like, no, nobody ordered you a stripper, ma'am. Calm down, give him candy. He's autistic. He might lick a window or something if he feels like it, but just candy. So, I did try medical marijuana for him because I heard that like helps calm them down. And these kids nowadays are just spoiled children. They're spoiled. They have dispensaries. They have a like shopping mall of marijuana. Behind glass and on shelves, and they have like gadgets. And I'm like, I'm in a Radio Shack. I don't know where I am, but this is weird. I'm like, do you want sativa or indica? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what that means. Let's just like pull something out of a flannel pocket, all right? I'll teach you how to make a bong out of a Pringles can if you have the time. I don't understand this. But I did try it. I gave my son some medical marijuana, and he just laughed and ate nachos. Still licked a window. Still had that going on. So I like true crime. Do you guys like true crime at all?
Yeah.
I like true crime, yeah. It is addicting, but they do have true crime ASMR. So if you want to fall asleep to horror stories, whisper in your ear, you can do that. And there's health benefits, like you don't need a cold plunge, because cold plunge gives your body a jolt, and it helps you like melt body fat. I guess that's what cold plunging does. But true crime ASMR, you are going to wake up in a cold sweat and probably shit yourself most nights. So you're not going to need a cold plunge. So I recommend that. Yeah, I think that's my time. That's good. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much.
Colleen Johnston, everybody. Colleen, good work. That's sweet. Are you having a good time tonight?
Yes.
Come on. I'm thinking of all the different styles of comedy. Of the sweet family over here, and they got, I love my child with autism, but he's beautiful. We got Nathan Newman, and this next comic. Well, I see this next comic at Comedy Boulevard, Ice House, but she performs everywhere. She has this unique delivery that when you watch her, you think she's going to be a good comic. She's going to be successful, but also she might even be a good actress if she tried her hand at that. I think she is. Here she is, everybody. She's back. Anna Gordon.
Yeah.
How's everybody feeling?
Yeah.
Having a good night?
Yes.
That's good to hear. My name is Anekwe Gordon. I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. I am actually actively looking for a husband. So I come out to do comedy, so I can just assess the room. But now, I know it's not a cool thing to admit anymore. Looking for a husband makes it sound like I'm from like the 1950s or something. But it is 2024, so Facebook started ad targeting me about the prime years of my fertility. Stressed me out so much I went back to synagogue for a networking event. I didn't expect to get approached by a real live Yenta. That's a Jewish matchmaker.
Oh.
Are you a Yenta? So I don't know if you've seen like Fiddler on the Roof. A Yenta is usually portrayed as sort of like an old hag who says something like, "Any husband is better than no husband." So divorce, no. But this Yenta, she was young and hot with red lipstick, and she strolled right up to me with her young gentleman client just kind of lurking behind her. And I was like, well, in this case, I'd rather fuck the Yenta. She had more chutzpah than he did. But I've really never had much luck with men. When I was growing up, I used to see a male gynecologist. Are you a gynecologist? Every visit, he would say the same thing. Men are cheaters and they're liars. And they'll tell you anything to get in your pants. Now, scoot your butt forward and spread your legs a little wider. Well, year after year, that got to my head. To the point that one day, I asked myself, wait a minute, was he even a gynecologist? But I've been dating. I found out I have something called anxious attachment. Here's what that looks like. I had sex with a guy who forgot to wear a condom, and I'm not on birth control. I found that a little bit romantic. I dated a guy who was completely unreliable, but he gave great head. So sometimes I planned the wedding. It's actually a really serious problem, you guys. Like if we were to send a bunch of anxious, attached Jewish women like me to the South, they might bring back abortion. It is a really weird time for dating. Like there's so many different ways you can learn about people. For example, we're learning that the way that a man talks to his Alexa is the way that he's going to treat you one day. I was over at a guy's house and he was like, Alexa, play Restacks by Bon Iver. She was like, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. He was like, you don't know your indie folk? She was like, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. He was like, what are you, slow? She was like, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. He was like, yeah? Well, I had phone sex with Siri the other night. Did you get that? Someone needs a software update, am I right? I was like, I don't know. I think this actually might be a women supporting women situation. So I tried third wheeling. Don't recommend that. I spent a week with my best friend and her husband in Palm Springs. At first it was fun. Like they took me out to dinner. They asked me about my day. Felt like I was being courted. But a few days in of watching them hold hands in the sunset, I started to spiral. The final day of our trip, some cracked out guy passed us on the street and he pointed his finger at me and he said, "Hope that pretty pussy isn't going to waste." Now, normally, I would feel very offended by a comment like that. But in this case, I just felt very seen. Said, me either, man. Me either. Also, I don't understand when people are friends with their ex, or they run into their ex and the vibe is like, oh my God, Josh, we used to have emotional intimacy and I still really care about you. How have you been?
Yeah.
If I ran into my ex, the vibe would be like, Rob, I used to eat your asshole. And you broke my heart into 1,000,000 pieces. Please walk away. In college, my nickname was Leftover Girl. I don't understand what people think when they hear that, like, oh, she was the last girl at the end of the night that would go home with anyone. No, it's because I don't like seeing food go to waste. I've tried to be promiscuous. I know that's in these days. But I've always just been more of a serial monogamist, just dating one guy after the other, which is really its own kind of whore, you know? It's just a very committed whore. But I don't know, you guys, I do think that maybe I might have met someone. Thank you. I think I might have some chemistry with my dentist.
Yeah.
He looked at my x-rays and he said, we don't have any plans for the rest of the day because I'm gonna need to keep you a little bit late today. I was like, oh my God, is he flirting with me? Turns out I had bacterial buildup. He needed to do something called a deep clean. He said, I'm gonna need to give you local anesthesia. Your tongue's gonna go numb. You're not even gonna be able to swallow. I was like, Dr. Randolph, how big is your anesthesia? And I got a little overwhelmed and I started to cry. But I kid you not, you guys, he wiped a tear away with a gloved finger and we locked eyes. I was like, oh my God, I think there's something here. And then he went in the other room and I heard him say, oh, Carol, I'm gonna need you to go in there. The patient's getting emotional. I said, well, this is never gonna work. He's anxious avoidant. But one good thing did come from the whole situation. I bought an electric toothbrush. So, now I no longer need a husband. Thank you guys so much. My name is Anekwe.
Thank you, Anna. By the way, did you guys notice the display right here? Did you notice the display?
Yeah.
So this is all of us performing tonight. Some of us have better credits than others. Don't judge us. Be nice. We're sensitive. We're comics, please. But the next person coming up designed this, and he's our co-producer of the night. And what can I say about Leslie? You know, yeah, that's it. He has a way of not only making you laugh, he also can make you mad for all the right reasons. He makes you think. I like him as a comic. We'll find out how good of a host he is, but I have good feelings for him. Let's give it up for our co-host tonight, Leslie Hiatt, everybody. Leslie.
Thank you, Ruben. Thank you very much. It is Ruben, right? A couple quick things. I gotta do some maintenance here. Let's hear it for the Barkley. Let's hear it for the Barkley for letting us host us tonight. This is a great thing, and if you don't, get food and stuff tonight, we're not gonna guilt you, But come by anytime they have live music and this is a great venue. Can't say enough of it, and thank them again. Shout out to all the comics, and of course you for appearing tonight. Friend Alex back there who's recording us. Thank you for him. And yes, I did have this nice little display. This is actually Timmy. He did this for us. But you, after the show, if you want to come up and find your favorite comics and follow them online, you can do so. So that's available too. Let's see, what else do we want to thank? We want to thank the weather for giving us misery for the last couple weeks. And then it's like, we're going to give you summer on the day of your showcase. So thank you, weather, for that. I'd like to thank my students who I made the mistake of putting in my grades this morning. I should have waited till tomorrow. Should have guilted them more. So that's my mistake there and so forth. But we have a great show. Who's ready for some more comedy?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of schools, this is a PCC regular, but he's a regular here in a lot of different places like the Ice House. Let's hear it for Peter Dwight.
Thank Thank you, Leslie. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Yeah, I work at a community college. It's because I was a horrible student and I never left, so they just gave me a job. But I don't work with the students, probably for the best. I do spreadsheets, and man, can I spread them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, yeah, education. Woo. All right, let's switch gears. A little more about me. My parents are missionaries. And if you don't know what that is, that means they love Jesus so much. They took that show on the road. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That means a lot of Jesus church growing up. Yeah, the whole rigmarole. So I felt I built up a lot of good karma. Lots of good karma. So much good karma, I think I could get away with murder. I was like, who will my first murder be? I said it at a show and a lady yelled out, my mother-in-law. Whoa. Whoa. It was my wife, guys. It was my wife. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's all a joke, because, mothers-in-laws, very popular, right? Could take a poll. Any wives have great mothers-in-laws? All right, what's your name? You can buy drinks for everybody. Yeah. No cheating. She has to be alive. No cheating. Is she alive?
She's right there.
All right. You're one of the special ones. Drinks are still on her. So, speaking of my wife, she's been talking a lot about sleep divorce lately. Have you heard of this? Sleep divorce? I heard sleep divorce. I'm like, is she trying to get 50% of my sleep? What is going on? What is this? So, sleep divorce, it's when couples sleep in separate bedrooms. Very modern. Usually for traditional things like, snoring, violent thrashing, or hilarious Dutch ovens. Yeah? Any Dutchmen? Mondo, you Dutchman? But I feel maybe I should be the one filing for this, because I only get 10% of the bed. Anybody? Yeah, 10%? Yeah? But then I'll be out on the halfway couch. Oh. Yeah. But no, what it is, we have a 2-year-old that's still in our room with us. So my wife thinks she can go off on vacation in the guest room, but no, she must suffer with me. And plus, call me old-fashioned. I didn't get married not to be able to reach over and grab a boob whenever I wanted. Huh? She can do it too. And the getting is good right now. The getting is really good. The getting is good right now. So good. Okay. Yeah. Getting is good. Win-win. Anybody grow up poor? Yeah. I grew up poor. Peter, how poor? Yard sale underwear poor. I can still feel the itchies. But remember I said my parents are missionaries? So I actually grew up overseas in Taiwan. So if you take Fresno poor, you move it to a third world country in Asia, you become the Tiger King. You're the Tiger King over there. You're living the dream. So I grew up in Taiwan, and whenever I come back to the States and visit, I'd always tell my friends, every day I wake up and train martial arts, every day. They're like, whoa. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. Wow, yeah. That wasn't true at all. That was not true at all. I couldn't even touch my toes, and still, not so much. But I think Tai Chi I could get down with. You've seen them at the park, the old Asians, moving with the wind, doing their thing. But a little secret, Tai Chi. It's Asian Kegels. That's right. They're out there strengthening their pelvic floor. They're keeping it tight. That's how they love you a long time. It's okay. He grew up in Asia. It's all right. So you won't notice it looking at me, but I'm actually also quarter Filipino. So that's right. I have a 4'11" Filipino grandmother, 5'3" half Filipino mother. But thankfully, my dad is super bald. He's so bald. Thanks, Dad. You're so bald. Yeah, so bald. So for those keeping track, Filipino Chinese white guy. Secret Asian man. Hey! You know the song. Yeah, so that was me. And my friends always say, hey, Peter, could you go undercover to the salons for us? We want to know what they're saying. I'm like, sure, Daddy needs a mani-pedi. Let's do it. So I infiltrate this salon, always get the deets. And when I report back, it's always the same. They don't like it. And I say, well, you don't want to hear it, but they said your foundation doesn't match your neck. Fellas, ask your wives or ask your ladies what that means. It's a sick burn. It's a sick burn. But then I say, actually, that was me. I said that because I'm a good friend. They just said you're fat. So, secret Asian man. Hey! Coming this fall. So when I was in undergrad, I lived in the dorms. I had a good friend also named Peter who lived in the dorms. And we'd go on adventures. It was great. There's also 3 ladies that lived in the dorms with us. And one day they came to us and said, hey, 2 Peters, would you like to take a massage class with us? And we're like, oh, man, yes. 3 of them, 2 of us. These virgins are going to touch some ladies. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we take the class, and they team up with us 0 times the whole semester. It's just me and Peter rubbing on each other. Whole time. Deep tissue massage. Deep. It was 2 Peters touching. It was 2 Peters touching. That's what it was. Yeah. The instructor gave us an A. Said we were very brave. And to this day, whenever I give my wife a back rub or a massage, she always has to turn to me and say, is this how you did it to Peter? Yes. Every time. So, I'm first-time parent in my 40s. Yeah. The body is breaking down, everyone. I used to be athletic, but now I feel that the muscle memory is turning into memory foam. Well, that was a dad joke. I'm so sorry. That was a dad joke. I'm just aging right in front of you. Terrible speeds. What I'm trying to say is I love Dr. Scholl's. I love Dr. Scholl's so much. I want it all over my body. Any Scholl heads? Any Scholl heads here? Yeah. What's your favorite model? Just shout it out.
Oh, I just stealed it from my mom.
You stealed it from your mom. Yeah. I like that. That's a good model. It's a good model. I love Dr. Scholl's so much that one day I want to have a Dr. Scholl's endorsement. Yeah, that's my dream. Yeah. We can start a hip hop group called Walk Don't Run DMC. Yeah, you with me? These concerts, they would be lit. I don't know what that means, but that's what they would be. That's what they would be. You know, just imagine the call and response to that. I say planner, you say fasciitis. Planner, fasciitis, planner. Fasciitis, yeah! People are like, woo. I say bud, you say yun, bud. Bud. And the ladies just start whipping out their orthotics and just throwing them on stage. And I'm like, DJ, drop that beat. Wicka. Straight out of cartilage. And that would be lit, guys. That would be so lit. So, all right, my name is Peter. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, let's hear it for Peter Dwight. I feel bad in my shout outs. I didn't give Ruben a shout out. I should have. He did a lot of promotion for this. He even got one of the biggest billboard places in all of LA and posted all over it. I'm talking his forehead. His forehead, he posted it's huge spot, huge promotion, especially when he stood by the freeway. It was, thank you again, Ruben, for that one. Now, this next comedian is a great guy. He hosts regularly at Flappers and lots of other places. And I'm going to mess up his name like a substitute teacher. Let's hear it for Michael Anekwe.
He didn't mess it up, guys. It was fine. I'm used to it. Guys, give it up for all the comics you've seen so far, guys. It's really nice to be here. This room feels like we're in the attic of a serial killer. Who used to play football or something. Is this O.J. Simpson's attic? I know he's dead, but we're taking over his house now. Come on now. It is nice to be here. Like I love how intimate this place is. It feels like we're all friends now. You know, like it's crazy because like my last show there was like 300 people in the audience, and I prefer this because it's like less people to bomb in front of. Because if you bomb in front of 300 people, that's 300 people going, don't quit your day job, dude. Like, you're not good at this shit. I sound like this because I am Nigerian. I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. Something else about me, I grew up Catholic. And when I was a kid, my parents were very strict about sex, like very strict. Like my mom would come up to me and she'd be like, if you have sex before you get married, you are going to hell. And I used to be so scared of going to hell until one day I found a picture of me as a baby, and the picture was taken at my parents' wedding. And I'm the fourth child. Yeah. So I went to my mom and I was like, I will see you in hell, Mom. It's crazy. Like, I think it's crazy telling a guy like me not to have sex before he gets married. Because, like, I don't want to brag, but I'm a 6'6" black guy in America. Okay? Like, I'm the dream of every gay Asian man. It's true, guys. Like, I went to a gay club in Koreatown last week, and no, I am not gay. I just like the attention. And as soon as I walked into this club, like I felt like a bad bitch. You know? It was amazing. I am Nigerian, as I said, and something interesting about us, we're very confident people. You know, we love telling people how amazing we are. And it doesn't matter whether you believe us, we believe us. Like what you Americans call narcissism, we call it self-love. It's funny because like every Nigerian, like you guys don't have, every Nigerian has a nickname, and we give ourselves our nickname. You know, when I was a kid, my nickname was Humble Genius. Because I was a genius, but I was also humble, guys. It's funny. We have a slogan in Nigeria that goes, "Naija no dey carry last," and it means Nigeria never comes last. If you don't count education or the economy, but if you're talking about scamming, we are number one at that. I am 6'6" like I said. I love it. That's all right. But I hate that people think that I'm stronger than I actually am. You know, like I was at the bar one day and two guys were fighting, and you know people were trying to separate them, so I joined them to go separate them. And as soon as I joined, they both saw me and they stopped fighting because they thought I was security. Because I was dressed exactly like this. The guy was like, "Don't kick me out." I'm like, "Nah, you're fine. You're safe." Something else interesting about Nigeria is Nigeria's a very homophobic country. We don't like gay people. There's a law in Nigeria that if you're gay, you go to jail for 14 years. But I'm not homophobic. I love gay people. In fact, some of my friends are gay sometimes. I was hanging out with my friend who's gay. We were just hanging out. We were not doing any gay shit. We were watching Hamilton. And, yeah, it is pretty gay, actually. I feel like that'll get you 14 years in Nigeria. It's fun. I do have an interesting perspective on race. I hate it. I hate it when I'm watching the news and they go, "Oh yeah, like this is the first black guy to do something." You know, like when they go, "Oh, Obama was the first black president," or like Bill Cosby was the first black anesthesiologist. Yeah, that is a fucked up joke. I don't think I want to finish that joke. You guys seem like a good, fun people. What else do I want to tell you guys? I'm a different kind of comedian. Like and I say that because like I hear a lot of comedians say, "Oh, like the reason why they started stand-up comedy is because their friends were like, 'Hey, we think you're funny. You should do stand-up comedy.'" Nobody told me that I'm funny. Okay, like the only person that's ever told me that I'm funny was this girl that I met at a bar in Long Beach, and we were talking, and I was like, yo, so you wanna come back to my place? And she was like, you're funny. So I became a comedian, guys. I became a comedian. What do I want to tell you guys? This is it. This is all. I just talk shit on stage, guys. I don't do any act. The last comic was talking about snoring. I just got diagnosed with sleep apnea recently.
Oh yeah.
But you guys know what sleep apnea is? It's like I see the room. You guys know what sleep apnea is. But it's funny because I thought it was something only old white people could get. Because every sleep apnea commercial is just some old white guy going, my wife left me. It's like... But I did get sleep apnea, and I always knew that I snored. Because I come from everybody in my family snored. When I was a kid, if you came to my house at 2 a.m. at night, you would think there was construction going on in the house. You're just like, ga, 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 ga. And then somebody would fart. All right, guys, you guys are great. Thank you.
That's Michael Anekwe. Let's hear it. It was good to be in between Peter and Michael. It was not only a comedic break, it was a hype break. You got hot, tall, medium, tall. Coming up next is another great comedian. Met him. He was hosting over at Flappers. He's a regular there and other places. And don't try it with him. He's already heard it. Benny, West Side Story, Ski. He's heard all my jokes already. Worst character in Avatar. Let's hear it for Jett.
All right, yeah, my name is Jett. That's my real name. I was destined for greatness. I was either going to be a fighter pilot or the leader of a prison gang. And now I'm telling poop jokes in a serial killer's attic. So we made it. Yeah. O.J. Simpson actually just died of cancer. His ex-wife's sign was a cancer, so I guess she got him back. I work at In-N-Out, and we get a lot of crackheads. They hang out there.
Yeah.
One of them freestyles a lot. We call him Meth Head Man. All he cares about is cream and money and meth. All right. A couple of weeks ago, I had to make the most important decision of my adult life. I had to decide which college to go to. So I flipped a coin. Looks like I'm not going to college. Drinking milk is the easiest way to get assassinated. Because all a cow has to do is drink some poison. If a cow comes up to you with a glass of milk, do not drink it. Cow would be a dumb assassin though. It's like, hey, could I interest you in this glass of poison milk?
Yeah.
I mean, moo. Alright, that one was fucking stupid. I took an IQ test the other day so that I could brag to my friends. And it took me an hour and a half. And at the end it said I had to pay $10 to see my results. It's like, at that point, man, fuck it, I'll just lie. It's like, hey Jay, you passed the IQ test? Hell yeah. What'd you get? 100%. When I was younger, I used to pray for my grandpa to live longer so that God would think I'm good and give me a PS4. And I got a PS4, so reverse psychology works on God. My imaginary friend found me on Facebook, and I don't have Facebook. He DM'd me, he said, hey Jett, how's it hanging? I said, I'm keeping it real. Because he's imaginary. These jokes are so dumb I have to explain them, dude. But yeah, that was my grandpa was when I was younger. I'm 20 now. I know I look 12, but I am a man. And my generation sucks. We're stupid and we suck. Yeah, okay. My dad's generation is great though, because he had hope. When my dad was 18, he moved out to follow his dreams. When I was 18, I got a permanent tattoo of a squid wearing a sombrero. Because it's timeless. The other day I saw a popcorn ceiling. What other snacks can you make, ceiling? Chicken nuggets? Man, how about some pudding? Pudding ceiling would suck though, man. You can't watch TV. It's like, hey Jett, how's 2.5 Men? I don't know. All I see is tapioca. All right, that one's stupid too. It's all good. We're gonna figure this out. Dude, TikTok has ruined multiple generations, right? But it's also made us really good at multitasking. Like I was scrolling while driving yesterday, only hit 2 people. I wrote down 17 dolphins. Give me 2 seconds. Oh yeah. I hate it. I hate it when your friend introduces you to his friend, and then your friend leaves the room. So now you and his friend are there having the most awkward conversation. Like, yeah, I used to like sharks, but I started fucking with dolphins when I was 17. How about you? When I was younger, when I was in middle school, we played this game called Adam's Apple. And how you play is you go up to someone, you say, hey, you want to play Adam's Apple? And then if they said, yeah, you go, okay, look up. And then as soon as they looked up, you chop them in the throat. I got hit 40 times before the teachers were like, hey, man, let's calm this down, guys. I sounded like I swallowed rocks for 4 years. They say that when a kid's throwing a tantrum, you're supposed to ignore him, right? And then he'll stop. Like if you go into a restaurant, a kid's screaming and crying, you're supposed to just look the other way. And I'm horrible at this. I'm really bad at this. But I've been trying to get better. Like I was on a walk with my nephew the other day, and he got hit by a car. He started crying in the street. So I walked away and I turned back and I said, sorry kid, I'm just following the rules. Okay. All right. It's okay, I don't need those anymore. I had, when I got into my college, I had to make a roommate request, right? It's like, yeah, I'd like to request the Invisible Man, please. Yeah, he's cool until you come down and see your stuff floating in the living room. It's like, damn it, Jake, give me back my cottonelles. The funnest people to drink with is the AA club. Because they'll make you feel better about, your decisions while drunk. They're always talking about the worst nights of their life. Like, yeah, me and Reginald, we stole a plane and we crashed it into a wheat field. It's like, what, dude? The worst thing I've done is Mario jump through a screen door. You're stealing planes? Thanks for setting the bar. Now I have something to look forward to. All right, I'm gonna give you guys one more and then I'm gonna go. This joke I've been working on for 4 years. It's pretty long. It's a pretty long joke. It's a story and it's got a lot of moving pieces. So just listen up. Ready? Teabags are just leaf prisons. It's like, hey, what are you in for? I'm criminally minty. All right, thank you guys. I'm Dave Chappelle.
Let's hear it for Jett. He is the Madonna of the show, the Cher, the Curious George, but that's a joke between him and I. All right, let's keep it going. This next comic, I've seen him in a bunch of places here in LA. First saw him hosting, was pleasantly surprised by how young we both look. Okay, him. But coming up next, the always funny Alex Berg.
How are we doing? Yeah. Good. Hi, my name's Alex. I just turned 21 years old. Typically people clap. Who wants to party with somebody still on his dad's insurance? Am I right? Yeah. It's the dream, It's actually not, I'd say. I don't know. I thought at 21 years old I'd have my own money, cool job, nobody to tell me what to do. Right? 21 now, no money, shitty job, and no one tell me what to do. Like the delayed laughter on that one. It was a thinker. It was. No, I don't know. it's my own fault. I moved out here at 18, right, to pursue my dreams of poverty. It's going well. I think I'm excelling. Some would say. I don't know. I'm just struggling to be an adult. I got to sell my car the other day. You ever sell a car and feel bad for the other guy? Like, how bad a car has to be for you to end up carless but relieved? Like, it was a 1999 Toyota RAV4. The color was white trash. It was older than me, and I think it resented me for it. You ever had that kind of car that's like become a stick shift? When did that happen? It's just you've had that kind of. Like it's like you don't want to fill the gas tank. That's optimistic. We don't know where this car is going to be at the end of the night, It could be in the best shape of its life or in your prayers. It's that car. I used to start that car. 5 out of 6 lights would come on the dash. Worst case scenario, right? 6 out of 6 would be an electrical problem. 5 out of 6 is a fucking me problem. It's some other poor bastard's problem. He's a nice guy though. I kept getting the we buy junk cars things on my car, and I was like, guys, this is just rude. This is, I know. And then he tried to bargain with me. He's like, you've been asking, okay? I don't know. I moved out here from the Midwest, right? And before I did, my grandma, she sat me aside. She's like, Alex, you need to be careful out there because you're a straight white guy. And these days, that's the hardest person to be. It's like, you're right, Grandma. Unfortunately, I was born on all the winning teams. I'm not proud to be white. I just want to put that out there. I'm thankful, but not proud. You gotta check your privilege, Mine's intact. It's right there. No, it's nice. I'm very privileged. I don't like my hair type is that to where whether or not I'm Jewish is up to me. That's power. My grandma. It was weird to hear that from my grandma too, because like she was born Mexican, but it's like become white. You ever have that? It's like she was born like Andrea Garza, and now she's Andrea Berg. It's the Midwest winners that do that. They beat you down. They told me that before I moved. They're like, Alex, Midwest winners, they make you pray. California weather makes you gay. Hasn't got me yet. It's trying, but I have a girlfriend. Clap it up for my girlfriend. Yeah. She's the best. She's 4'10" and Hispanic, right? So it's kind of like fucking Dora. And like she's exploring, we're kicking boots, but it's like Dora if she's 19 and like choking, it's odd. It's go Diego, go. No, but there's right. She's Mexican, and obviously I'm furiously Caucasian. So there's like cultural differences, right? Like she'd never seen that movie, The Departed. You guys familiar? The Departed, right? Which is just white trash cinema. It's the best. They don't do it like that. And so I showed it to her, and we're watching the movie, and halfway through, she lets me know she cannot tell Matt Damon and Leo apart at all. Like she thought the twist of that movie is that they were the same person. And you gotta understand, I look like me. This is my first time experiencing racism. It blew me away. And so fast it turned me Republican. I was like, you said what? About who? You don't like the departed, girl, I'm gonna get you deported, okay? No, I kept her. I got a small apartment. It makes sense. You know, it's economical to have a small girlfriend. She's Hispanic too. They get in tight spaces. It's cool. It's good. It's a good thing. What else? When I was so my best friend, right? I'm a Christian. I want to put that out there. I'm a Christian, but I'm like a chill one, you know, a bad one. I'm a bad one. And my best friend, he's an atheist, right? Because I'm a bad salesman. But he's a real prick about it, you know. Like I wear a cross chain, and he accuses me of wearing the cross chain just to get laid more. And I'm like, that might be true, but science can't prove that. So I'm a bad Christian in faith alone. It's. You don't like that one? Stay prayed up, you know what I'm saying? No, but he's an atheist. Yeah, he's an atheist. He also has a drinking problem, which is an odd combo, because the last 2 times he's got blacked out, he's called me crying. And I'm not making this up. He called me crying. He's in the front row. He called me crying. I'm so serious. He's in the pink. He's got a drink in his hand. He called me crying, saying he needs to get right with Jesus. So he's a Christian, he just doesn't remember. And what do I do? You know, like as his friend, do I get him sober or get him into heaven? Like, you know, if this boy gets into AA, he's getting into hell. What's the right call? What's a man of God to do? How you doing, buddy? You guys are fun. I like you. You guys are like laughing but to yourselves, you know? Like you're like, I'm enjoying myself, but it's none of his business. I respect that. Yeah. Don't let me in. What else? When I was a kid, I was really into drawing and painting, right? You know, like all kids, but I could color in the lines real well. But I was really into drawing and painting, and my family would always talk about how he was very artistic, right? They talk about my cousin was autistic, and I didn't know the difference between those words. Autistic, artistic, same thing to my wit of Wayne, right? But I knew when they're talking about him, it was lovingly uncomfortable, and they're talking about me, it was a compliment. Which means I thought that they were sitting back watching me paint, like, this painting is so, retarded. An extra chromosome on this boy for sure. Sorry I said the R word, everybody. But honestly, what is the word savant but French for retarded? Like it's retarded with a cigarette, you know? It's cool retarded. Also, I think you can say the R word with an accent. I think like that's okay. Like if you've seen The Departed, you get a little retarded. It's cool. It's part of the vibe, you know? You gotta spread the word to stop the word, is what I'm saying. It's also, usually I say I'm the youngest guy in this room, but this is a little fucker in the back. I didn't like that. I saw him on stage like I'm 20. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Over here, 20? Die. I never felt so old. All right, you guys have been fun. Amen.
Alex Berg, everybody. What did I just see? Good. We call it good shit. Yes. In the industry. That was good shit. You know what? Has it been a good night so far? Come on. Yeah. One of the reasons I like doing these shows is because I pick all the comics, you know? It's like, I know I'm going to have a good time. I don't care about any of these other idiots. But this one was a little different because I only picked half of them. and the other half this guy picked, who's our last comic of the night. So good job, sir. Sorry for what I told you, all the things that I told you, and all the bad vibes and all the bad words. All joking aside, because I've been talking stuff. He's been talking. So my forehead's big? Why don't you just tell me directly? We have to really go do this here at the mic. Closing the night. Please give it up for Leslie Hiatt, everybody. Leslie.
Let's hear it for Ruben. Let's hear it for the comics. Let's hear it for you. You guys have been a great audience. Ruben, I don't think anyone needed to tell you. It's obvious. But, you know, I am a teacher. I'm an instructor. I've always counseled folks. But real quick, I need to do this. Okay. First off, we're here for you. The first thing I would suggest is get a better friend. Yeah, that's the first thing. Just gonna put that out there right there. All right, my name is Leslie Hiatt, and I'm also disappointed I'm not a female comic. It's a British boy's name, all right? Named after my grandfather. I blame him. What's going on in the news? There was something big that happened in the news last week. I don't know. I can't think of it. It was a pretty large number. Someone gets it. I was talking about the Trump convictions. He's 34-0. He's undefeated. That's a whole lot of winning right there. That's a whole lot of winning. And I got to be fair. I got to balance it out. I got to make a joke about Biden. Biden actually has really good economic numbers, besides the inflation. But he does. Unemployment, job growth, GDP, all that stuff. I'm pausing in case anyone says fake news. But the thing is, he actually has a chance to be a transformational president. The problem is, none of us thinks he can actually figure out a transformer. He'll be like, oh, why are we making a robot? It's a cool train. That's it. That's all it is. Let's see what's going on in the news. At the start of summer, we just had Memorial Day weekend. Where we remember the people who served and have passed away and have awesome selves at the same time. I'm a veteran. Sometimes I get people to say Happy Memorial Day to me. And to those people, I like to say, I'm not dead yet. All right? I got Veterans Day, Marine Corps birthday. I'm good. We're good. Don't worry about us. What else is the news? There was this thing about a woman who survived the sex dungeon. Barely survived, and it was an interesting story because she actually agreed to go in the sex dungeon on the first date. And I read the story and I kept thinking the same thing. Who can afford a sex dungeon in this housing market? I mean, come on. I mean, in LA, you got to rent out that sex dungeon at least. I mean, gosh. I mean, if I had that extra scratch, I'd make a Lego room. I'll be honest with you. I'll make a Lego room. I think the guy with the sex dungeon would get more first dates. To be honest. Of course, I can make it a Lego sex dungeon. Yeah. I think the women would get out of the restraints pretty easy, though. I'll be honest with you. That's a thinker, by the way. That's a thinker. That's a thinker. What else? Speaking of bad men, they asked women online, if you were lost in the woods, would you rather be lost with a bear or a man? All the women chose bear. As a man that lived around bears in Yosemite National Park, I like to say, you made the right choice. That was the right choice. At the time, I knew a woman who actually got bitten by a bear. And if you ask her this today, she'd be like, I'd still go with that bear. It was a tender bite. I don't have to worry about revenge porn with him. You never know who the man lost in the woods with. He could be a Kansas City Chief kicker. You never know. You never know. I throw that out there for the current event geeks out there. So much going on in the world. You know, the thing I got to fess up, though, about me, because, you know, as a comic, you got to talk about yourself. You know, we're egotistical. Is my background is a lot cooler than I look. It is. I mentioned I was in the Marine Corps. I was a Marine Corps firefighter. That's 2 stripper requests in one sexy job. Right? Some of you are like, I've made that request. Wasted on this 5'8" frame. I just hate the fact that every time I mention I was in the Marines, people will go look at me and they start acting like a British prick. They'd be like, "Oh, you? Blimey hell. Just thought you were a wanker." And I'm like, "Hey, how dare you?" Back when I was a firefighter, women would ask me to take off my shirt. Of course, they ask me to put on a shirt when I go swimming now. So, you know, sir, my eyes are up here. My eyes are up here. All right? He looks away like he doesn't know. I see you looking. But there's so much about me that is just people are surprised about. I do need to say something. I'm from Fresno, California. Yeah, don't woo. I wouldn't even woo. I'm from Fresno. When I tell people I'm from Fresno, they look at me like I'm a refugee. And then LA people will ask me the same question. They'll say, "Are you from the farm part or the meth part?" I'm like, how dare you? All right? Fresno's the 5th largest city in California. Bigger than Sacramento, bigger than Oakland. Stop with the stereotypes. I'm from the meth part. That's our big three. That's our big three right there. Agriculture, meth, stolen Cadillac converters. You're welcome, LA. I think he's bought all three. All right. He's like, don't point at me. But the thing is, I'm from there, and what's even weirder for a lot of people is I'm from the barrio in Fresno, California. Yeah, I know I don't look it. I look like I was an extra on Friends. That Drake is my favorite rapper. But the fact is, that's where I'm from. I'm from there. I grew up around immigrants and gangs and all that stuff. It's a big part of my life. I love it. I embrace it. I learned more from it. And I need to say that. Because when you're this white and you say you're from the hood, people think, oh, you're saying you escaped. No, I love where I'm from. And by the way, it's not internet hood. You know what I'm talking about? When people, they look it up on the internet, they watch the movie, they think they know things. They even take the persona of it, kind of fake hood type stuff. Now you know why I don't like Drake. That's for the one person out there. I'm here for you. I do have the nickname Gringo Que Sabe. For my Spanish speakers out there, you know what that is. And that's the thing. I grew up there, and I actually worked heavily with the farm workers and a lot of the communities out there, Latin communities. In fact, one Mexican-American political leader called me a bridge between both worlds. I'm the Gringo avatar. That's it. That's it. People were asking me what I was doing for the eclipse. I'm like, I'm invading the Fire Nation. The younger generation got it. All right, but I'm here. And the thing is, I'm from there, and people ask me, you've been around all of these cultures, these groups. I live in Alhambra now. Don't ask me about the driving. Please don't ask me about the driving. One person knows it, got it. All right, but the thing is, they asked me, have you ever felt culture shock? And I'm like, yes. The first time I lived in Germany, I walked outside, I looked around, I go, oh my God, we do all look alike. Oh my gosh, we do. And that's the thing. I grew up in a Spanish-speaking neighborhood, and of course, I speak German. All right? I can only use it in Yosemite and Disneyland. That's it. That's it. And the thing is, the German and Mexican culture, there's a lot of familiarity there. There's lots of similarities. Like, anyone seen the movie Coco?
Yeah.
It's a great movie. What do they call the wall where the generations are displayed? What is it called? Yeah, thank you for saying it, because I would butcher it if I said it. Every time I speak Spanish, it sounds like a Texan ordering a burrito. But they have that in Germany too. They have the generations on the wall as well. Well, except for one generation. There was this one generation, they're like, World War II, we don't have. I even saw pictures of folks in uniforms, but they have a Post-it note over the medals. I'm not saying why, but we all figure it out. We watch the History Channel, we know. The weirdest thing about Germany, though, was for me was because I love Mexican. I grew up in a neighborhood where they would sell tamales door to door in the Home Depot buckets. You know what I'm talking about? The quality tamales. Yeah, none of this stuff sold at the restaurant. The good stuff. We always had to beat my mom to the door because she would tell them no, and my dad and I would just jump over my mom for it. But the thing about Germany was when they have. She loved the tamales. She's gonna die of the tamales. So I'll end it with this, and I love the tamales too. The thing is, as Ruben's mom, I believe. The thing is, Germans you go to a Chinese restaurant, they have Chinese cook, Japanese, and so forth. They have all those cooks, except for the Mexican restaurants, which they're all over Germany. I've had a burrito served with gravy, an enchilada with a hard shell. And I'm like going up to the thing going, I know some Mexicans. We can bring them over. Do they speak the language? I'm like, you got universal health care. Sprechen Sie Deutsch. That's what I'm saying. You guys have been a great audience. You did a great thing. Let's hear it for the comments. Let's hear it for all of you. It's been a wonderful night. Thank you, Barkley. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Check out the comments. Follow them on Instagram. Have a good night.